Imagine you alone have the power and the resources to reverse the course of climate change. Would you wait for governments or committees to debate and discuss until an agreement is reached, or would you take action and hope no one shuts you down? This is a question that one billionaire answers with action in the book Termination Shock by Neal Stephenson. Hello, it is me. I'm just someone who is concerned with the direction we are heading in with the climate, a direction of mostly talk with little to no action. While listening to a podcast called How to Save a Planet, I learned about solar geoengineering. That set me on the path of reading one person's image on what this kind of action could look like. Termination Shock takes place in the not-so-distant future. COVID has taken its toll, but new apps have been developed to help aid in social distancing with those more likely to be contagious. This is also a future that is heavily impacted by the effects of climate change. Flooding is heavy in several parts of the world that were unable to hold the sea at bay. Temperatures have risen so high in some areas, it is impossible to be outside during the day without a specially designed climate control suit, of course. The billionaire in question, referred to as TR, feels inspiration strike to reverse some of the effects of climate change in order to buy the world enough time to enact a more permanent solution. How is this possible, you may be asking? The answer, in this case, is solar geoengineering. While there are several methods that could be implemented, this method is achieved with a giant gun in the heart of Texas. Specifically, a gun loaded with sulfur to be injected into the atmosphere. You may be asking, how is sulfur supposed to help with climate change? To answer that, let's look at the real-life science that fuels TR's endeavor. Solar geoengineering is a theory to how we may be able to temporarily reverse the effects of climate change. Inspired by the lowered measured overall average temperature of the planet following a volcanic eruption, solar geoengineering would work by injecting particles, such as sulfur, into the atmosphere. This would create a mirror coating, so to speak, that would bounce back radiation from the sun before it gets trapped by the carbon in the air. This could theoretically be accomplished in the very near future. All it would take is an individual or group with the resources needed to pull off the plan on a global scale. But as the effects are temporary, it would take continuous efforts to maintain, making this method of dealing with the climate more of a band-aid than an ultimate solution. The best it does is buy us time until we take enough carbon out of the atmosphere to where we no longer need such a solution. Of course, TR's efforts do not go unchallenged. After his project is implemented, scientists calculate how his actions affect the rest of the world, opening up the possibility that there would be catastrophic impacts on the weather in various countries. This could, theoretically, be addressed with additional sites, like the one in Texas, scattered in strategic locations across the globe. However, India just sees how their climate was impacted and begin to plot against TR's and his efforts. TR, knowing that a plan may be in the works to hinder his project, seeks to prepare in advance. Knowing the widespread use of drones, he sees this as a likely measure that would be taken against him. TR preemptively hires people to train hawks to rip drones out of the sky. As this is a very compelling image from the book, it became my inspiration for the art I drew for the video. While the sketching face remained intact, I unfortunately had an error in recording the line work and coloring that I had not realized until the work was finished. Termination Shock is a fascinating novel that explores ideas that could potentially be within grasp. It also includes political drama, a small bit of romance, and a well-intentioned individual who was exploited by his government. I do not want to spoil much of the book if you decide to pick it up and give it a try. I will say it is worth a read and may get you thinking about the trajectory we are on. With that, I will leave you and hope you enjoy whatever is left of your day.